Next example, evaluate without a calculator. We have cosine of 140, cosine of 20, plus sine of 140, sine of 20. Notice how each of these angles, the 140 and the 120, they're not special right triangles. I mean, if you sketch it, you won't be able to produce the exact, at least without a calculator. So if I use my sum and difference formulas, now we're kind of working backwards. You can see here that we have cosine, cosine. Our formula says plus sine, sine. So I have to use a sign on the bottom. So it's going to be cosine of alpha minus beta. Okay. So if I go back to this right here, basically you can think of this as alpha, this is beta, alpha and beta. And again, since I'm using that plus sign between them on my formula, if I go back to it, that's what I was explaining here. There's cosine, cosine, sine, sine, but there's a plus sign. So I have to use a sign on the bottom, so it's going to be cosine of alpha minus beta. So now the thing here is recognizing, the formulas but working backwards. So all of this is actually just simply going to reduce to cosine of 140 degrees minus the 20 degrees. And if I evaluate this right here, what is cosine of 120 degrees? Is this one right here is going to produce a special right triangle. So if I sketch that angle, 120 degrees, it's going to rotate this way counterclockwise. This is the 120 degrees, but I'm going to go ahead and use the reference angle, which is what? 60 degrees. And what goes opposite to 60? Square root of 3. Adjacent is 1. And this is the square root of, not square root of 2, sorry, just 2. Based on its location, this 1 should be negative. And now using the reference angle and this sketch right here, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So what is my final answer? What's the adjacent? Negative 1. Hypotenuse is 2. So cosine is going to be negative 1 over 2. But the thing is, recognizing the formulas, that it was the sum and difference formulas but working backwards. On that first example, I gave you, this side over here where you had to break up the angles into two parts. This time I already, used these, expanded them, and now you have to go back to these right here. Any questions on these?